We're at the infancy stage of design thinking at the Benjamin Banneker Charter Public School. And to be fair, we're still learning about the process. But where I see it fitting is around the thinking of it. It's around the whole notion that when there's a problem, we have to look at it from different and various perspectives. We have to think about how it might impact other people, how other people's perspectives impact the problem. And that helps us with the solutions. I also think the importance of listening to everybody's ideas, the brainstorming aspect of taking everybody's ideas and looking for, these are some ideas we want to try and invest time and effort and resources in. Taking those ideas and trying them, looking for pitfalls and analyzing how it worked and how it didn't work, and deciding if it worked, great. If it didn't work, we start over again. So for me, what I like to see is how it helps develop our own thinking, because it helps with empathy, it helps with understanding, it helps with being able to not be so attached to one answer, because there are often many solutions to a problem. And so that's what I want to be able to help our teachers and our students see, is the fluidity. I think that there are lots of places where design thinking works and work well. One of the areas, for example, is around thinking about parent communication. For example, that's a problem. Our parents come from all over the state, and how to get them at the Banneker. How we have part-time parents, parents who work till after 6, parents who work early in the morning, parents who have to travel very, very far. If I was trying alone to solve that problem, it wouldn't work. If I just said, let me get all the administrators together to solve the problem, it wouldn't work, because we have a shared perspective. If I got the administrators and teachers, it wouldn't work, because we're looking at the school's perspective. In order for that to work, we have to have parents. So it's not that I thought parent communication, this is a great place for redesign. It just happened to lend itself. We put people together to say, this is a problem. It's come up at surveys, it's come up here, it's come up there. It's a problem. Let's put a pool of people together to see what the problem is. Can we really define the problem? Can we put a name to it? Can we put a face to it? And then it just happened that we were able to brainstorm some ideas. We were able to talk about some possible solutions. We were able to implement some solutions. And every single year, we revisit the same problem and think, how do we enhance it? How do we make it better than the year before? And so I do think that there are places where that works. I think that if you want to implement a design thinking process in your school, you have to spend some time really building a base, getting teachers who are interested, genuinely interested in it, because it's a different way of thinking, and it's a process that they have to be willing to try and fail, and it's something that they have to learn, and anything new takes time. And so I would suggest always starting with a base that's interested, getting people motivated around it, spending time together learning about various pieces of it, because that helps develop shared ideas, shared concepts, shared language. Once you have that, it's now time to start experimenting, because when you learn something, you generalize, you put it everywhere, and then you think, oh, it works for this, it doesn't work for that. And that's where the experimenting comes in. And then if you're lucky enough to have a culture that's built on trust and respect, you're able to have a staff that talks about it honestly. It worked here, it didn't work here. I failed at this. I didn't fail here. This is a great time for us to try it. It's something else that you're able to pull out if you need to be able to reach certain students, or able to think of a way to solve a problem. I have the belief that says that as many tools as a leader can have, the better for the leader, because there's no one answer for any school. You might find there's a place for it. I don't know that design thinking is the be all, the end all to anything, but I do know that there are places where it works really, really well. And if I don't understand it, and I'm not willing to learn it, and I'm not willing to try it, I'm doing a disservice to our groups. So I think that every leader should learn as much as possible about all the key components. Now, that being said, we're in the educational field. Things come and go and change names. It's a constant battle. So what's most important for us is to make sure we learn what works. Why is this important? What components can I see? Where have I seen this before? How do I know it's worked before? And how can I use it? So I'm just not saying, oh, it's the new it term, let's throw it into Banneker. That's not how it works. How it works is, I've heard this before. It's very similar to this model that we've used before. There were pitfalls here, but here are some really good pieces about it. How can we make sure that we address those pitfalls? And now let's think about where it might fit in the Banneker, so that we're not adding another thing to the classroom teacher, recreating a wheel. We're not doing any of that. We're looking to see how this model, this process, will enhance X component or Y component. And if it didn't, we wouldn't use it.